Derek, great to speak to you. Happy New Year. First off, how are you feeling 3 weeks on from what was a brilliant fight against Joseph Parker?
Great, enjoyed it. It was a good fight. I enjoyed it.
What did you enjoy about it so much? Because afterwards you said, I love it. I just love this sport. What was it about that fight in particular that really got you going so much?
I think it was more like the crowd, and I was in it. I got a motto. I say every day to myself, I'd rather die in the ring. Bring me on the stretcher. The fight itself, the whole build up, the matches was on fire that night. It was good fights happening on the undercard. The whole promotion was just amazing. So I was like, I'm not gonna let everybody down. So I just had to go with it.
And was it the type of fight that you expected it to be?
At least than I expected any fight. It was a good fight. It was an unbelievable fight for us who outside the ring. But it was a good fight. I enjoyed it. It was a tough fight, and I think I think myself alone. Most people know I like to fight, so I'm just gonna bring it.
Well, you looked in brilliant shape at the weigh-in. You gave it everything inside the ring. How are you feeling now? How's the body coping?
After I left the ring, the next day I was fine. The next day on the train back to London, I was perfectly fine.
And in the hours after the fight, you tweeted, I won't copy what you said, but you said, no chance of retirement. I'm back in the summer. Is that still the way you're thinking?
Yeah, I'm trying to get 2 fights or 3 fights this year.
And what's on the wish list? I spoke to Dave Caldwell yesterday. He said you've already been speaking about potential opponents.
Yeah, there's so many opponents out there, but I know how to make good business, and those people who don't understand good business, that's why they stay behind. I know what fights bring money to everybody, and if people don't want to be on my train, they can just come off my train. I don't really care.
I've got to ask you about what Eddie Hearn said. He said that Derek Chisora would be the ideal next opponent for Deontay Wilder. What were your thoughts on that?
Listen, my thoughts on that are unbelievable. I'm open to anything. Listen, I love fighting. What most people don't understand is, they want to have this this perception of they want to be boxers on Instagram, fighters on Facebook. I'm not that guy. I want to be the guy, when I sit down and then everybody look at my resume, I want to be like, I fought everybody, in my era. So I don't want to let people decide for me. I like to decide for myself and be happy with the decision I make. So if I have to fight Deontay Wilder, if I have to fight whoever, I'm fighting American, I don't care, I'll fight.
For you personally, you've had some incredible fights in the last few years alone, taking on Joseph Parker twice, Dillian Whyte twice, and Alexander Usyk as well. Is there not a feeling you want to have a slightly easier opponent next, or would somebody like Wilder fit the bill for you?
Easy is for. That's what I'm saying. I don't like anything easy. If life was easy, I'd be living in Rotherham and Sheffield. But for me, I like to live in the fast lane. This is why I live in London.
I spoke to Dave Caldwell, and he said that he wouldn't train you for a fight against Deontay Wilder. He said it's not a fight he wants to see. What do you make of that?
So that means he's out. He just fight himself. He's done.
Would you want to go to America and fight him?
America or London, wherever.
What do you think would happen if you were to step in a ring together?
Listen, I got trainers I look at who can train me for that style to beat him. And then that's it. It's a bigger task for Dave Caldwell. He said he won't train me for that fight. So he's already pushed himself out of the money. So he's out.
Do you think you could beat him?
Could beat anybody I want to. it's a fighting game. It's how you lose the fight and how you win the fight is the most important thing. People always think, oh, there's fighters out there who just come in there and coast on a win, but it's a boring fight. There's fighters out there very good at boxing, but they will never sell out arenas. Do you understand? And there's fighters out there who like, oh, so and so is fighting. Now you know what? Let's go out for dinner. I'll catch that later on the repeat. Now if I say I'm fighting, people are like, nah, come to the dinner plans. We're watching this fight live. Do you understand? People are like, we're getting tickets to go watch it. So you have to, yeah, this is a business I'm trying to do for myself. I'm trying to like give the fans what they want to see and how they want it. Because at the end of the day, when you announce a fight, if people love you, they will buy those 60-pound tickets, those 40-pound tickets, those ringside tickets. They love you, they want to see you and be proud of you, they'll buy those. But if they like you, they'll watch you on the replay later on after they finish the day going out or being at some dinner party. They'll watch on the replay. Oh, let me just check on watch on your channel and the scores results. I'm you want? Okay, let's carry on. You understand? So there's a point. Like when AJ go fights. When AJ announce a fight, sells out. It's a show. People want that. You understand? Because I know he can bang, he can knock a man out. So people want to see that stuff. And then this is what I try to tell to these young fighters. Yes, you train every day, you box every day, but if people don't really, I love you, they ain't gonna buy nothing of you, So my aim is to give the public what they want. If I have to go to war, I'm going to war. And I love it, man. I can't not sit here in my house. I'm in my kitchen right now. And I love it. I cannot deny it. I love the name. I love the sport of boxing. But it's the most dodgiest sport in the whole world. But I love it still.
And you obviously want to fight on. You've made it clear. And I think that's one of the main things, really. And something I explored a bit with Dave. The fact is, Derek Chisora's value isn't his win-loss record. It's what he adds when he's inside the ring. Listen,
I love Dave, by him saying things like that, it pisses me off. It's just a bit annoying. He's saying that. I didn't even know he said that, to be honest with you. So I'm a bit annoyed about that. I love Dave, but this is why some of us live in the fast lane. The Eagles say life in the fast lane, baby. This is why. AJ, Tyson Fury, Dylan White. This is why we live in a fast lane, because nobody can live in this fast lane. If you're weak-minded, to be honest with you, and you haven't got a heart. This game is for guys who got heart. We live in the fast lane. You look at that fight. Luis Ortiz. At 42, he knocked out a young guy. So what's the problem? The boy might tell him he's 42, but in his mind, he's like 18 years old. I keep telling people, yes, it might be old, but, so I like to live on the fast lane. That is it. So I fight anybody, wherever and when. I don't care.
You'll be aware that people have said that maybe it is a time to call it a day. Do you respect that opinion at all?
Hey, that's them. That is them, 100%. That is them. Those are the guys who still ask money from their mothers. If you haven't said, I don't know, it's time for you to, I think it's time to call it off. Because he wants to be that guy who said, I told you should call it off. He's the same guy who phoned, oh, mama, haven't paid my cards. Is there any chance you can borrow me some money? Those are the guys. A real man who don't say things like, a real man like, yeah, what a great fight. I want to see another one. Real men say that. A real lion say that. little cubs of like, oh, this is too hard. I can't do this. Let's not do this anymore. The real men, the real fighters are like, forget that, man. We're going again. So all those guys, and one of the guys was Steve Bonds. Am I lying?
How long do you think you've got left? And do you think you'd know when the right time was?
Yeah. And you would know. You would know. The day I walk out, everybody would know it's the right time. You would know. The whole way I'll build up the fight, everybody would know.
But the way you looked, especially at the weigh-in, the shape you got yourself into, are you sort of thinking that from a physical point of view, you're not slowing down at all?
Oh, I have to give a shout out to Ruben, Dan, Science Boxing, and Dave Cordell. They structured a great plan for that, for me to look good and still have so much energy at this age. It was great. I enjoyed it. I love it. Listen, I love training. I love fighting. It's just one of those things. When the day comes, it's going to be hard to leave it, but I'm going to have to.